speaking of illicit actions, I agree with you with the first mantra. The first time I heard this chant was from the one and only Alexander Emmerich Jones that we need jail for Bill Gates.
Can you believe what the guy's saying? Like Bill Gates right now is admitting again. It's like Samantha Power saying out loud, "Never let a crisis go to waste." A crisis that we've caused by sanctioning Russia. Let's punish Russia, punish oligarchs, seize their assets, and expect Russia to supply to the world. Just it's hey, dude, we're beating you. Whether or not you deserve it is another issue. You should continue supplying us the energy we need to continue beating you. Samantha Power says it's going to be fertilizer shortages, food shortages. By and large, it's only going to affect third world. I say third world in their that was their world, developing nations. Bill Gates comes out and says, "Well, when my foundation was meeting with its experts, we didn't know that it's basically like I don't even know if I can repeat Bill Gates' own words. He says it's basically like a seasonal other issue, a little different, but we know it affects elderly." Robert, we've both read RFK's The Real Anthony Fauci. We know a little bit about Bill Gates. How did this guy? He's not a doctor. He's not an epidemiologist. He's not a virologist. He's not a postdoc, master's. He didn't even graduate university. And I don't say that to undermine his capabilities. How did he become an authority for foreign global national policy on issues of vaccinate, on highly medical issues? How did it happen?
Two reasons. One was that he shared certain globalist visions with David Rockefeller and George Soros and Mike Bloomberg and a range of others. They met in 2009. Their meeting got leaked, and the media pretended they were superheroes, and he shared their overpopulation obsession. The Great Reset agenda is an old agenda just rebranded now and then.
It's effectively the New World Order 2.0.
Absolutely. Okay. And the goal is to the theory is that there's going to be limited resources in the future. So us, the privileged, need to be able to hoard it for ourselves. And that means we need to thin out the herd of the unwelcome and undesirables. And thus his obsession with overpopulation. One of the few political issues he ever talked about was Roe v. Wade, because he's a big believer in abortion, just like every other eugenicist is. Just research some of the statements Ginsburg made about Roe v. Wade and see what the origin of that really was. For those people that may still be on the fence on the issue, understand their origins should lead you to doubt who it was and why it is they want it. But so that's part one. And then part two, he bought his way in. The Gates Foundation leveraged massive amounts of money. It's the number one private donor and almost equal to the United States in total donations to the World Health Organization. It was, as Politico reported in 2017, buying off public health authorities all around the globe. It was they're one of the biggest donors to the Imperial College and the University of Washington, which what Bill Gates disclosed in this interview, he considered his modelers, not independent university, state government modelers that created these fake models that exaggerated the risk in order to induce a lunatic response. But what we're also seeing in this context is that the vaccine he championed, more Pfizer documents came out under FOIA that revealed major evidentiary questions. My case representing Brooke Jackson, the primary whistleblower against the vaccines, big suit against Big Pharma, a key team action brought on behalf of all Americans, pending still in Texas. We're going to find out whether Pfizer's trying to stop any discovery from occurring in the case. That will be litigated this month in federal court in Beaumont, Texas. And I'm bringing on a legal team that's going to be a dream team of lawyers that do these kind of cases from all across the nation who have agreed to participate because we're up against 4 or 5 big corporate law firms. And that's just on the front of things. Who knows how many people are helping out on the other side of things. So we're seeing continued progress in certain aspects of getting honest information that rebuts the official institutional narrative, as both came out from Bill Gates and came out from these Pfizer FOIA document releases and in more surveys and studies. But we're just beginning to get there because in order for this to never happen again, when Bill Gates says, "Don't worry, the next virus will be much more lethal." Well, how is he able to predict that, boys and girls?
It's not just that, but they've seen what they can get away with now. And by the way, I have 2 views on this. On the one hand, they've seen what they can get away with. They've seen how efficiently they can whip up a society into an absolute state of irrational frenzy. I see people on the street outdoors wearing N95 masks. I mean, it doesn't make sense. And I don't judge them, but I do feel bad for them. They've seen that. And the flip side, damn it, I just forgot what the flip side was. They've seen what they can get away with. Oh, Robert, and then how much worse that oh, son of a gun. That's gonna drive me crazy. When I get my second thought, I'm gonna get to it, but oh, I'm sorry.
Well,
That's what it was. He's covering his ass for what he knows is coming. They know the truth will come out in to the extent that the collective has a memory, which it does, but it's very short. For those who still remember what they said in the beginning, right now he's coming out 2.5 years into it, admitting, well, my experts early on were, where they were saying it's no different than the seasonal flu. It's a little different. We know it affects elderly people, but we didn't react enough in time. They're setting out their plausible deniability. Well, we said it, and you're not going to remember that they said it after destroying everything and not when they actually knew it as they were destroying it. What? I mean, look, I'm going to dream. It's not going to happen. What potential crimes? I mean, are we talking like RICO level fraud, or what could happen?
oh, I mean, I mean, the key team action we brought for Brooke Jackson, the whistleblower action against Pfizer and the rest, which is representing all the people, all the entire American people, is about a $2 billion plus fraud committed by Pfizer on the Defense Department. And it's just one part of the equation. So this was a massive, in my view, criminal action by Big Pharma in collusion with aspects of government, in collusion with aspects, corrupt actors within the government, in collusion with corrupt actors in the media, in collusion with corrupt actors in big tech. And it's probably not a coincidence that Bill Gates is so nervous about, and George Soros is so nervous about Elon Musk buying Twitter.